What is up, YouTube? Where am I?
Ladies and G-words, welcome back to my main channel. Where am I? Back in my childhood bedroom. We're back in Australia. This is a video for if you're feeling unmotivated, you're feeling stuck. I'm channeling a divine message right now for you.
Spirit said he's not coming back and you need to move on.
Because I've been feeling the same. Hey, just because I'm a YouTuber, it doesn't mean I don't feel the same way, actually.
Coaches don't play, bitch.
Go get the life formula, my revolutionary journal. This is what changed my life. Because you know how, this is a story time. This is not part of an ad, by the way. The life formula backstory, I have the OG copy here because I'm in my childhood room. This is the first version of the life formula and it's great. You know how it came about? It's because I couldn't focus. I wasn't happy with myself. And I had like all these papers scattered around my room trying to figure out like a method to be organized. A whiteboard behind me. And it just wasn't working. And then I found a system and then I made the life formula. You know, I produced the life formula within a week. I worked every day to get this out. Even Slay Society, I think I got that store up within a week because I put all my energy and focused onto it for that 1 week. Slay Society, I'm bringing it back. I've been fucking working on it for months. And I'm like, bruh, I knew I could have got it up in a week. But a part of my mind was like, oh, do I like want to do this again? Do I not? My energy wasn't focused. That's why you need to focus your energy. 1 week, I developed these products. And since then, the life formula has evolved. Remember, the first iteration is not going to be the best. The first iteration still changed lives. Now it's even better. Once you start, you can only get better. I genuinely think this is going to change your life. It's the best fucking journal. Bitches be copying it now. You know who you are. Literally, you know who the fuck you are. Whenever I come back to my hometown, I get a little bit triggered. And you can probably resonate with this because I always felt like I didn't belong here. I was meant for bigger things. I had to leave. So I moved to Sydney when I was 18 and literally every time I would come back to Perth, I would be triggered. And it wasn't until I was older, actually on this specific trip, that I was able to identify why. And it's because subconsciously I'm terrified that when I return back to my hometown, I become my teenage self again. I become my childhood self again, the person who was stuck in this room dreaming of something bigger. And I have something bigger. I live in another country now. I literally, everything I dreamed of, I have it now. But there is still a dissonance. There's still a trigger. I come back and I automatically regress into that childhood self, that instead of enjoying the time I have here, it's like I'm worried. Is everything that I worked for going to disappear from me? Because I see the people in my hometown, they haven't changed. And my deepest fear is that I've become like that. Sorry, like, not to shit on them. That is one of my fears. And you know what happens? It makes me feel stuck. I feel stuck and I have to remind myself that I actually, we made it out of the hometown.
Bitches be like, I made it out of the trenches and the trenches are a beautiful city in Australia.
Isn't that crazy? How when you've actually achieved your dreams, you can still feel stuck, you guys. This is a lesson and you all know it because everyone who's successful talks about it, that it's not the destination that is the goal. It's the journey along the way to enjoy that, because when you get to that destination, all your fears, you might still have them. Those triggers don't just disappear. You may still feel inadequate. You're going to want something more because what comes after that? This is something you need to implement. Number 1. Where attention goes, energy flows. If you focus on the bad is going to amplify. If you focus on the good's going to amplify. And we're not just talking law of attraction. Literally psychological. If I tell you to go find a red car, you're going to see red cars everywhere suddenly. If I tell you to look for love in your life, you're going to find love in your life. If you look for everything bad going wrong, you're going to find everything bad going wrong. Where attention goes, energy flows. That's also the secret to manifestation. Focus on the good in your life to get more good. You probably aren't stuck. You just haven't really figured out what you want yet. And you don't need to figure out what you want right now. You can think, I have it all figured out right now. And next year you can be totally lost again because we're constantly evolving. What you do need to know is what are my values and what is the type of person I want to be. And every day you need to show up as that person and try to do things your higher self is going to want to do. And naturally things in your reality are going to start to conform. You might feel stuck because you see this content online of everybody changing their life. Everyone around you is grinding. We're all locking in, but you can't lock in. You've been trying for months and you can't lock in. So you feel behind, like literally been there, because you're comparing yourself to others, but everybody's on their own journey. You can never be late on your own timeline because everything happens in the right timeline. Watch this video, by the way, that I made a few years ago. You guys have definitely seen that post, and it's like someone graduated when they were 21, and then they didn't find a job until they were like 28, and someone didn't find a job until they were 28, but then they became a millionaire at 29, and someone didn't start their dream career until they were 40, blah, blah, blah. Basically, you can't compare your own timeline to someone else. We all came to Earth for different reasons. We have different karma, we have different purposes, and the sooner you can work past all of this, the sooner everything is going to align. But in the meantime, you know what you need to focus on? Having fun. Having fun and raising your frequency. Because when your frequency is raised, when you are grateful for everything in your life, that is when things start to align and good things start to happen.
Hi sisters!
Sometimes we expect our life to like rapidly change, especially with the content online. And yes, I make content like this too. How to like shift totally in 30 days, 90 days, whatever. You expect your life to radically shift. But because you're the one living your life, you probably don't even realize it's shifting. For example, every year my life has jumped and it's elevated. And if I don't feel like the jump between, for example, 23 to 24 was the same as 21 to 22, my mind is like, we need bigger change, like failure, something's wrong. For example, I was like, oh my God, 24 to 25, like nothing has changed. Everything changed. I moved country, the fuck? But my brain is like, no, nothing changed. But if I look at even who I was last year, like little small things, I wasn't even like consistently going to the gym. I wasn't even like eating that healthy. Now I do all of that. There are changes there, you just have to look for it, and you need to give yourself credit. And if we're continuously like, oh, I'm stuck, I'm not changing, you're also subconsciously telling yourself, I'm not good enough right now. And that's a big thing I had to learn as well, because if you equate not making progress with your worth, you're going to subconsciously block yourself from receiving a lot of blessings and a lot of love, because you're going to feel like you're unworthy and undeserving of it. Like, I have friends who are like, I can't get into a relationship because I'm not making enough money yet. And they're women. Like, this does not really matter for women, more so men in this society. But I'm like, bro, like you can't hold yourself back from this. If the love of your life walked through, you can't be like, sorry, I'm not making enough money. Can you come back in a few years? Because guess what? You can miss what's meant for you if God presents it in front of you and you choose to walk away from it. Additionally, if you're stuck, what can you do? Look at this, guys. This is my wall. Some of it's missing, but this is what I had when I was younger, when I lived here. An imperfect plan is better than no plan, da 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 da. And this is partially what inspired the video, because whenever I felt like I didn't want to do something, I would look at this wall and I would think, I need to rule my mind or it's going to rule me. Because we are built up of our patterns, our subconscious mind, and our fears, and also what we consume. So, you know, sometimes you don't want to do the dishes, you don't want to make your bed, and so you don't do it. You're actually training your brain to become more lazy. And as you get older, it's more hard to rewire those things. But every time you do something difficult, you're training your brain to get shit done. So whenever you don't want to do something, actually see it as an opportunity for this to be a pivotal changing moment for you. And going back to comparison, winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. You need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on your own lane. And especially when you're young, you're in your 20s, you don't have the responsibility of kids, a husband. Yeah, maybe you do, I don't know. But more than likely you're watching this and you don't have the responsibility yet. You have freedom. So you should try as many things as possible. And you should not feel like a failure if it doesn't work out, because at least you tried. Now, if you're feeling unmotivated, you need to get over it. You actually need to get disciplined and you need to show up every day. Like, what is your higher self going to do? She's going to show up. An imperfect plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. You just need to take the first step. And the rest of the steps will follow. The pathway is going to build. You don't need to build the pathway before you start walking. Just start walking. Because otherwise, we don't even know if that pathway is going to be built. You're probably never going to get around to it. You're just too busy looking at the irrelevant things like, what color is the pathway? What concrete should I use? It doesn't matter. Along the way, you walk on this path you're manually building. Perhaps you're meeting different specialists along the way. This analogy, I can't. Different contractors who are telling you, actually, this concrete is better than this one. And if you didn't start walking on that path, you would have never known that. You would have relied on yourself as inexperienced. I'm going off track, but you get the point, guys. You just need to get started. You need to have discipline, you need to have control of your mind. And if you don't get started, you're never gonna have the life that you want to live. And I also love this quote that today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I can do what others can't. If you want a different life from 99% of people, you need to look at what 99% of people are doing. 99% of people don't have discipline, they don't want to work, they don't want to learn something new, they'd rather get drunk, go party, wake up late. It's very easy to actually stand out, but you need to trust divine timing as well. Everything will happen when it's meant to happen, but you can miss what is meant for you if you're not even on that timeline, on that pathway. For example, I did my palmistry recently, and my palmistry, what it says is identical to what my birth chart says and my destiny matrix. And I've always said, this is true by the way, spirituality says it, Kabbalah, whatever you desire, it's because you're meant to have it. It's unique to you. All the desires I wanted, it says it here on my palm, it says it in my birth chart, it says it on my destiny matrix. So it's in the plan for me. I'm on that timeline, but you know what? I can sabotage it. If I don't stay on that pathway, it doesn't mean I'm gonna get everything that's in the plan. I can miss what's meant for me. So you can use this as like a tool to figure out what your blocks are, where you're meant to go, but don't entirely rely on it. For example, when I was in high school, I did not think I was a creative. I was very much more leaning towards, honestly, like being a finance bro. So I remember when I would like see my birth chart and like even this, and it's like, you're gonna be a spiritual teacher. How funny is that? I got thrown into doing this on YouTube. I was like disgusted. I'm like, I don't want that. So going back to the whole high school thing, bro, guess what? I know you relate. I know you relate because my audience, the people here, they all want something bigger for their lives. You guys probably are triggered as fuck in your hometown. So if you want to move out, you want to do bigger things for your life, you want to achieve your full potential, stop holding yourself back. Because guess what? Your subconscious mind is always going to hold you back. We're programmed to have fear over new things. Just because something is uncertain and it feels like scary, it actually means you should do it because you're going to push through those subconscious blocks. Your mind is always going to try to protect you from doing things. And that's where like overthinking comes in. Just act on it. Within 5 minutes, you should act on something. If you get an idea, you have 24 hours to act on it. To manifest everything you need, put all the attention on something for it to happen within 24 hours. Just get started. Even in investing, there's this quote and it's like, the best time to invest was yesterday. The second best time to invest was today. I think that's how it goes. But guess what? The best time to get started was also 1 minute ago. The second best time to get started is right now in this moment. Just get started, just fucking do it. You don't need to make a plan. You know, when I was very lost, I knew what I had to do, but I would delay it. We always know what to do, by the way. Whenever we go for advice to someone, you already know what to do. You're hoping that they're going to tell you the same thing that you're thinking here, give you affirmation, but you know what to do deep down. So I would make all these plans, all these documents, and I'd be like, this is what I'm gonna do. But it's a form of procrastination. What I realized is you just have to get started. No plan. The plan will form. The people will come. Put your energy into something. Where attention goes, energy flows, and everything along the way is going to come. You probably feel stuck because you're preventing yourself from change as well, because you're afraid of what happens when I do change. Consciously, you're not thinking that. Consciously, you're like, I would love to change. But you know, when you change, everything changes. Are you ready for your new life? For example, one of the businesses I'm starting, which is, for me, this is going to be one of my long-term legacies. I know once this is in the public eye, it's not related to YouTube, by the way, once it's in the public eye, it's going to take me so much fucking time and money and effort to grow it. And I can never back down from that. Doing YouTube, yeah, sometimes it fucking causes me stress, but it's chill. Like, it's pretty chill. I grinded really hard back in the day so I could be more chill about it now. Quote, do today what others won't, so tomorrow you can do what others can't. Like, did that. But anyways, this other business, I was sabotaging myself for years over it because I'm like, I'm not ready for the change. And that's only something I realized this year. I was not ready to manage a team. I was not ready to not be able to randomly leave to another country or even upload on YouTube, because it will affect that. I was not ready for having to be in the public eye even more. And these are things I've had to come to terms with, that my life will change. So are you ready to change your life? And my friend Kim was like, all I'm hearing is you don't want to change. And it was true. I didn't. I was happy where I was at. And here's another thing. Sometimes we want to change because we just feel like we should be changing. But we don't have to constantly change, because there's nothing wrong with us unless there is something wrong with you that you don't like. But I always was like, I need to change, I need to change, I need to change. And then I had a thought, you know what? I actually like who I am. I've worked really hard to get to where I am. There are some things I can tweak, but overall, I don't need a massive change. Yet every day I was like, oh my God, something needs to shift, something needs to shift. Because there was also all the noise around me making me feel like I had to change. And I had to be like, no, I love myself. I don't really need to change that much. I can chill, Simone, you're safe. You can relax. I do like EFT tapping. What's his name? Brad Yates. Brilliant guy. I'm safe. I'm safe. This really helps, especially guys, if you have a dysregulated nervous system. Don't feel like you have to change just because other people feel like they have to change and you feel like you're going to get left behind. Because you might be doing great already, and only you know if you're living up to what you could be. Stop making excuses, align your path, get very, very clear on what your vision is, and just work towards it every day. Put all your attention onto that one pathway, visualize it, and it's guaranteed to happen. Guaranteed to happen. You can't miss it unless you sabotage it. So work on your subconscious beliefs, and we have videos for that. I will link them all in the description below. Thank you for watching, you guys. I hope this helps you a little bit. Go get the life formula, my revolutionary journal. This is what changed my life, because you know how this is a story time. This is not part of an ad, by the way. The life formula backstory, I have the OG copy here because I'm in my childhood room. This is the first version of the life formula, and it's great. You know how it came about? It's because I couldn't focus. I wasn't happy with myself, and I had like all these papers scattered around my room trying to figure out like a method to be organized. A whiteboard behind me and it just wasn't working. And then I found a system, and then I made the life formula. You know, I produced the life formula within a week. I worked every day to get this out. Even Slay Society, I think I got that store up within a week because I put all my energy and focused onto it for that 1 week. Slay Society, I'm bringing it back. I've been fucking working on it for months. And I'm like, bruh, I knew I could have got it up in a week. But a part of my mind was like, oh, do I like want to do this again? Do I not? My energy wasn't focused. That's why you need to focus your energy. 1 week, I developed these products. And since then, the life formula has evolved. Remember, the first iteration is not going to be the best. The first iteration still changed lives. Now it's even better. Once you start, you can only get better. So the digital version is only, I think, $13. Printed version, I don't know how much it is. I think $30, but Amazon takes like 60%. So guys, I don't even make that much money off of it. I'm not trying to just sell you something. I genuinely think this is going to change your life. It's the best fucking journal. Bitches be copying it now. You know who you are. Literally, you know who the fuck you are. You know who the fuck you are. She's watching this right now. So I love you guys. Thank you for watching this video. You are doing great. You are loved. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of great things, and great things are coming to you, and whatever you're going through, it will pass, okay? Just try to focus on the positives. I know the world is scary at the moment, like this, you know, like we might be going into a recession, maybe you might lose your job. Oh, there's so much going on. Try to focus on what you can control and focus on the good in your life, and it will amplify. So, ich liebe dich. Tschüss.
You're in the eye, I like the light, and the summer fades away. Nothing will say. You're right, I turn you, make it work, you're fun, I say. We're never made. Give me call art, wandering on the mother, make me happy and blue. Norman Rockwell, no high under, I'm sorry. It's just me and you. Oh, come to my face. It's you who wants me. I'm sure never kiss. So now I think you're in the eye, I like the light, and the summer fades away. Nothing will say. You're right, I turn you, make it work. Virgin May. Oh yeah. So now I'm back, you see this. Oh yeah. So now I'm back, you see this. Oh, come to my lips. It's really kind of space. I'm sure never kiss. So now I'm back, you see this. Yeah. You're gonna come over. Come to my lips. It's you, little fish. Touch me with your fingertips. It's you, little fish. I'm gonna get high now because colder. You're the diamonds. I'm in clover. Oh, ever, everything, ever. Oh, ever, everything, ever. Oh, ever, everything, ever. Oh, ever. You're myself at diamonds. I'm in clover. You're gonna burn over, honey. Over and over, honey. Over and over, honey. Over and over, honey. You are mine, honey. Jealous of your love. If you are mine, honey. Jealous of your love. You are mine, honey.